Good morning. Welcome to another edition of Coffee with Tea. I'm your host, the amazing T Street. Can I just tell you, somebody asked me, they're like, T, are you ever down? I'm like, y'all, I'm down probably more than I'm up. But what I am and always have been, and my mother and everyone in my family will attest to the fact that above all things, I am a fighter. For many years, I was a literal fighter. I fought with my hands. One of the things that I always tell people is I don't care how many times life knocks me down, I'm going to get back up. But one of the things I rarely talk about is I don't always operate from if you knock down, get back up. Sometimes I fight from the mat. So today's Coffee with Tea is titled Fighting from the Mat. I love sports like wrestling and boxing and mixed martial arts and all those things. There's a phrase in wrestling and mixed martial arts that's called fighting from the mats. It's the moment when your opponent has knocked you down, your back hits the ground, and the crowd assumes that the match is over. But the fight isn't over because you're still breathing. And sometimes life feels like that, y'all. Life knocks you down, your plans collapse, your confidence gets bruised, your strength feels drained. But here's the truth: being on the mat does not mean you're defeated, it just means you're in a different position from which to fight. Today, I want to share three quick thoughts with y'all about how to fight from the mat. Y'all, all the time it's not going to be, oh, we got back up. Sometimes we got to keep fighting when life has knocked us down. Good morning, Val. Good morning, Wendy. Good morning, Jackie. Good morning, Alana. Good morning, Miss Woods. Sometimes we have to be willing to fight from the mat. The first thing, being down is not the same thing as being done. Oh, y'all better take a look at those letters. Down and done. Being down is not the same thing as being done. The mat is not the end of the fight, it's just the place where the next move begins. Many of the greatest comebacks in life didn't start from the floor. Some of them started from disappointment, some of them started from heartbreak, and some of them started from failure. Sometimes we think we have to wait until we feel strong again before we can move forward. But fighters, we know, notice I said we here, we know something different. You don't wait to feel strong, you fight your way back to strength. I don't ever say, oh, when I get back to my strength, I'm a blah, blah, blah. I'm like, look, I'm down, but I ain't out, which means I'm still swinging while I'm on my back. You don't wait to feel strong. You fight your way back to strength. You may feel down, you may feel tired, you may feel discouraged, but if you're still breathing, you still got one more move in you. That's it, y'all. As long as you got another move, the match ain't over. I know it should be isn't over, but as long as you got one more move, the match ain't over. Period. The mat, y'all, it can become your advantage. We just never look at the mat as an advantage point. We don't ever think about what does the mat offer us. Here's something interesting about fighting sports. Some of the best fighters in the world are actually most dangerous on the ground. Why? Because they know how to use the position that they're in. They leverage their opponent's weight. This is why I love boxing and I really love mixed martial arts because when you understand your opponent's weight, you can shift their balance. They create openings that nobody saw coming. Sometimes life knocks you down into a position you did not want, but that same position might be the one that develops your wisdom. It might be the one that builds your resilience. It might be the one that reveals your true strength. Pain, for me, has always produced perspective. Struggle has always sharpened my strategy. Always. Sometimes the mat, it becomes the place where you learn how to win. When I'm down, I use it to take a breath. I might be tired. When I get knocked down, I'm like, whoo, deep breath, deep breath. Whoo, this is that break that I needed to get back up again. And one thing that I know for sure, champions always find a way to rise. Every great fighter has something in common. Every great fighter, Muhammad Ali, George Foreman, all the greats, y'all, they get knocked down. But what makes them champions and what makes them great is that they refuse to stay down. Champions know that the goal isn't to avoid the mat, the goal is to rise from it. I'm going to give that to you again. The goal is not to avoid the mat, the goal is to rise from the mat. And rising doesn't always happen in one dramatic moment. Sometimes it's small. You get up mentally first, like, whoo. Sometimes you get up emotionally first. You're like, okay, I can bear today. Sometimes you get up spiritually, and then you get up physically. And little by little, move by move, and breath by breath, you work your way back up. But the real fight in life is not about whether you fall. It's about whether you decide to get back up. I gave this message to a young lady yesterday at East High School. So if life has knocked you down recently, if you're feeling like you're fighting from the mat, remember this. You're not finished. You're not defeated. You're just in a different position. And sometimes the strongest position and the strongest place to be and the strongest place from which to come back begins right there on the mat. Because champions don't just fight when they're standing tall, they fight when they're knocked down, and then they rise again anyway. Being down is not the same as being done. The mat can become your advantage, and champions know something that others don't. Champions they always find a way to rise. I don't know who needed this message, but right now, y'all, I'm in a season of life where I am fighting from the mat. But can I tell you? Don't send me, oh, woe is T. I'm so sorry you're going through. Y'all, that's life. Everybody goes through. I'm not special. Don't send me those. Say, T, what's your strategy, girl? I know you got one because you told us fight from the mat. I'm the amazing T Street. There's absolutely positively nothing amazing in me that's not in each and every one of you. I dog double dare you. If life has you on your back on the mat, I dog double dare you to fight from the mat. Have an amazing day, y'all.